So hello everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to continue with the talk about salt. So in the previous video I talked about why salt might be bad for you or why it is bad for you. And in this video I will give you some alternatives and also give you some information about these alternatives. So I'm going to give 10 alternatives and then I'll talk about all of the aspects that make these alternatives better and how they can also be medicinal. So all 10 of these are also medicinal and have strong beneficial compounds in them that will actually benefit your health, whereas salt does not have many benefits. It mostly has negatives. So I want to start with the six hallmarks of cancer. So according to Hanahan and Weinberg from 2011. So I'll try to include some of the references that I use as well in the description of this video. So the six hallmarks of cancer: the cells resist cell death, they are increased cell proliferation, they induce angiogenesis, they enable replicative immortality, so they continue to reproduce while they resist cell death, they evade growth suppression, so your body can also suppress growth of problematic cells, but the cancer cells evade this. And there's also a sustained proliferative signaling, so it continues signaling to reproduce. So those are the six hallmarks of cancer, and these 10 medicinal herbs and spices that I'm going to talk about will talk to these 6 points as well. So please listen out for those as well, because a lot of them are anti-cancerous. So stay until the end as well, because at the end there's a really nice and important one that has uses outside of the body as well, so inside and outside of the body. So number 10 will be an interesting one that a lot of you might know, but you don't know how you can use it in different ways. So let's kick it off with basil. So basil can be used in cooking. It can be used as a fresh leaf, it can be used as dried leaf, it can be used as a powder as well. So basil is multifunctional and it has a wonderful taste as well. But it's also hepatoprotective, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antifungal. So it's can reduce fungal infections, bacterial infections. It's also antiviral, and it decreases carcinogenesis, so cells mutating and changing their function. It can also help to decrease your stress, it's cardioprotective, it can relieve some pain, and it decreases your overall mortality. And it can also help to reduce the effects of radiation-induced sickness. So when you are going for radiation therapy, or when you have a cancer and you're going for radiation therapy, then basil, and especially also something like a holy basil or the 3 different kinds of Ayurvedic basils that they use, can reduce this radiation-induced sickness, because it's also hepatoprotective. It protects your liver and your gut bacteria. So that's number 1, basil. Basil is a fantastic and versatile herb that you can use instead of salt. Then the second one will kind of dovetail with another one, so I'll do them together. So dried onion powder or onion powder and garlic. Garlic you can also use fresh or powdered or dried or fried. So onion and garlic go together because they are both from the allium family. So allium rich vegetables have a lot of sulfoxides, flavonoids, anthocyanins, and quercetin, which are strongly anti-carcinogenic. They have a high potency in selenium compounds, they're selenium rich, and these compounds that are combined in onion and garlic, when you have them together, it increases their potency by 300 times, and it's extremely protective and cancer. It protects against cancer specifically, and it can decrease your cardiovascular risk because of its decrease in your blood viscosity. So it makes your blood a little thinner. It stops it from getting too thick. So it can also eliminate LDL cholesterol and overall cholesterol, reduce your cholesterol. It's also mutagenic, which stops your cells from mutating. It also activates your detoxifying enzymes. So the enzymes in your body that detoxify your body, this is activated by the Allium family, so specifically onions and garlic. And it's also anti-aggregatory, which stops plaques from forming in your blood vessels. So where there are plaques forming, this effect can take the plaques or the clot formation, it can take it away. It's also hypoglycemic, which means it regulates your blood sugars, and it can also act as an antioxidant. And the quercetin is one of the potent antioxidants, which is also found in the skins of grape. Okay, so let me get back. So the next one, we'll move on from onion and garlic. So dill is also full of bioactive substances. It can increase the apoptosis of cells. So one of the hallmarks of cancer cells is that it resists cell death. So dill can increase this cell death. So it can help the natural killer cells in your body to find, pinpoint, and kill those harmful cells in your body. It's also hypolipidemic, so it takes away or reduces the lipids that are being absorbed, or the fats, the cholesterol. It helps to eliminate those. It's anti-diabetic, hypoglycemic, so it helps to regulate your blood sugars and support your pancreatic function. It's also anti-cancer because of the antioxidant effect, the antimicrobial effect, and the fact that it helps to kill these harmful cells. It also supports your immune system, your organ function. It helps to eliminate waste, and it increases your body's natural ability to fight fight disease. So that's on 1, 2, 3. We've done 4, 5. So we're moving on to number 6. So number 6, thyme and rosemary, which are part of the mint family. They can also increase your cognition, which is a bonus. So it helps you think clearer. It helps stimulate brain activity. And it can also help to regulate cellular regeneration. So again, one of the 6 hallmarks of cancer is increased cell proliferation, which rosemary and thyme can help to mediate or regulate. It also mediates growth factors. So cancer cells grow out of control. So thyme and rosemary have these bioactive substances that can regulate or mediate growth factors. It's also antioxidant, anti-diabetic, anti-cancer. It increases your body's antibody effectiveness. It decreases glucose uptake and storage, and it can regulate your enzymes as well, which helps digestion especially. And it's also a potent inhibitor of damaged cell proliferation. So cell proliferation, especially if it's a damaged cell like a cancerous cell, thyme and rosemary can help to inhibit this. So then one of my favorite ones, turmeric, is the next. Its active compound here is curcumin. The turmeric is cardioprotective. It can also decrease edema or swelling by 50%, and it can also decrease arthritis because of its potent anti-inflammatory effect. It's also been shown to combat HIV and AIDS because it's antimicrobial and antiviral. It decreases your cholesterol uptake. It supports your liver, so it's antilipidemic. It's anti-diabetic, which increases your enzyme function from your pancreas. And it helps overall healing and blood flow and nutrient movement in your body. And it also increases your cells' ability to resist oxidative damage. So it makes your cells stronger, and it can also act as a natural sunscreen. So it makes your skin cells stronger and resist damage against the sun. And it's also a potent free radical scavenger. And it can also be renoprotective. So it protects your liver, helps support your liver and your kidneys, which is very important. Then the next one that is quite interesting, seaweed. You can get seaweed powders, seaweed flakes, you could get seaweed sheets as well. And these are wonderful because they are high in iodine. So especially if you are eating a plant-based diet, seaweed is important because there's no natural iodine-rich plant-based product. So a lot of people get their iodine from milk, cow's milk, but that is from the antimicrobials they use in the iodine-based solutions that they put on the cow's udders. So that leaches into the milk, and that's where the iodine in milk comes from. So it's actually because of the antibacterial solutions that they put on the cow's udders. So just something interesting. So iodine is important for your thyroid function, and your thyroid function is important to regulate your hormones. And hormones are what gives you the good feelings, the bad feelings, and regulates your whole bodily systems. So seaweed helps to regulate your hormones. It has high mineral content and high fiber, and as I said, high iodine. So it's good to have some of that every day. And you get many different kinds of seaweed. So you can get nori sheets, you can get dulse, you can get sea moss, you can get kelp. So there are many different kinds of seaweed, or sea vegetable, or rather call it a sea vegetable. So include sea vegetables in your everyday diet to make sure that you get your iodine, because a lot of people also get their iodine from iodated salt. So if you're not eating salt, then you can get it from seaweed. Natural, easy, cheap way to get your iodine as well. Then the next one is paprika. And paprika goes a little bit together with cayenne pepper, whereas paprika is a bit more spicy or chili. It also contains a bit of curcumin and a bit of capsicum, which is the bioactive substances. So it's an immunostimulant similar to turmeric, but it's not as potent as turmeric. But it has high levels of vitamin C, E, A. It's got high fiber, and it can help your skin health, can help your skin glow because of the high vitamin E and vitamin A levels. Then it's also a potent antioxidant, especially when it is dried. When chilies are dried, it increases the naturally occurring minerals and vitamins. Then moving on to the next one is cayenne pepper. So cayenne pepper is fantastic because it does not have the stomach irritant or stomach lining irritant effect of other chilies. So the active or bioactive compound is the capsicum. It's a potent free radical scavenger. So it's got high vitamin C. It also helps iron absorption, and it can decrease the effect that iron can have on infections. So if you have an infection and you have a lot of iron, then iron can make that infection worse. Sorry, the air pollution is quite bad here where I am today. So sorry if I sneeze occasionally. It's the pollution in the air. They call it yellow dust. It's the pollen from pine trees that's coming out in this season, and I have a little bit of an allergy to this pine dust. So coming back to cayenne pepper, it can also decrease your LDL cholesterol. So it's a cholesterol scavenger. So it helps to eliminate cholesterol and stop it from being absorbed. It can also increase your immunity. It stimulates your immune system to work more effectively. And it's tasty. It can make your food a little more warming and spicy. Then coming to the last one that I mentioned, it's oregano or oreganum. It's a potent antifungal and an antibacterial and an antiviral. So it helps against any kind of a bug or fungus or bacteria that you might pick up somewhere. So this is also especially important if it's a rainy season, or if it's very humid, or you come from the tropics, because there are lots of fungi and bacteria that can infect your body, and an antifungal antibacterial is also extremely important. And oreganum or oregano you can also use as a pesticide or herbicide, so a natural pesticide and natural herbicide. You can get the oils and you can spray it on your plants, and it will act as a natural plant healer because of the antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal effects. It's also anti-cancer, antioxidant. It stimulates the immune system, it modulates the immune system, and it can modulate the gut bacteria as well. So those are my 10, and as I said, the last one is a little bit of a bonus. You can use it in your garden as well to help control the pests and the bacteria and the fungi, because a lot of the times your garden can be infected by a fungus, especially things like a tomato can be infected by a fungus, or potatoes. So an oregano or oregano oil can be beneficial in that way. So as you can see, there are many salt alternatives, and they are delicious. They add flavor, and they can heal you. They can upregulate your immune system and help to eliminate those harmful cells that you might be harboring in your body. We never know what's going on inside our bodies. So it's always good to add medicinal and herbal plants to our diet. So as always, stay healthy. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. Ask me some questions, or I'm open to discussions as well. Have a nice day, and to God be the glory.